So when slab is supported on all four sides and the ratio of long span, that is, we always represent long span by Ly as per our convention and shorter span by Lx. So if slab is supported on all four sides and this ratio Ly by Lx, if it is less than 2, okay, then the bending moment is going to develop in both x and y direction. Okay, like in one way slab, what used to happen in one way slab, you used to say if this ratio is greater than 2, you say that bending is dominant only about the shorter span. About longer span, this is not going to be a very large value, and you used to design the slab as one way. But here, if the ratio Ly by Lx is less than 2, provided the slab is supported on all the four sides, if it is less than 2, it means bending is going to be dominant about both the direction. So whatever reinforcement you provide, okay, that reinforcement has to be designed for the movement which you get for the span parallel to x, okay, and the span which is parallel to y axis. For both movements, you will be designing your reinforcement and you'll place it in both directions. Okay, so in both direction you will be having main reinforcement. Now this analysis of this kind of two-way slab, basically you'll be using plate theory. Okay, so by using this plate theory you'll be computing this moment mx and my. Now at your course, since you have not studied this thing advanced mechanics of solid, it will not be justified to uh, introduce entire plate theory. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be looking into the approach which code has suggested or which code has simplified. However, for one of the case I'll be considering, and I'll try to uh, formulate the equation for mx and my. Now, before starting this design of two-way slab, as I said, for computing this bending moment, you'll be using this plate theory for computing mx and my. Okay. Now, for computing mx and my will depend upon the edge condition. By edge condition, let me draw one sketch which will let you know what do I mean by this edge condition. So this is one of the slab panel which I'm having. So what I'm saying, this span is your Ly, this is the longer span, this is your Lx span. And here you have this column, here you have this column, here you have this column, here you have this column. If you have this kind of column beam and slab arrangement, what you can see, this slab is actually becoming discontinuous about these four edges. The slab is not continuing in this direction. The slab is not continuing in this direction. The slab is not continuing in this. Let me mark it. So this slab is not continuing in this direction. This slab is not continuing in this direction. It means it is becoming discontinuous. But say what happens? You provide, you extend the slab. Extend the slab like this. So if you extend this slab by providing a column here, if you provide a column here, what difference you can see here? You can see that one of the edge is becoming continuous. If suppose if I want to design this slab, okay, if I want to design the slab, how the boundary condition is changing, you can see three edges are discontinuous and one edge which is short is actually continuous. Okay, so here this boundary condition of the slab is different. But when I come to this slab again, if I talk about this particular slab, okay, and say here also there is one more panel. I'll be coming into it, and here you have this column. Here you have this column. If I talk about this slab now, this slab, this slab panel, here the boundary condition is different. How this boundary condition is different? Here you see two edges, this edge and this edge is continuous. The slab is continuing in both directions. But this long side or this long edge is becoming discontinuous. So whatever movement which is going to act in this particular panel about y-axis and about x-axis is going to be different compared to this one. Say if this is also having Ly, this is having LX, same span. This slab is also spanning about LY. This is also having same span LY. About shorter span, this is having LX. This slab is also having LX. But the moment is going to be different in both the cases. Why it has to be? It is different just because of the boundary condition. Okay.
सर कंटिन्यूअस वाला दोबारा बताइए.
Continuous वाला देखो, जैसे ये पैनल, if you see this panel, let me highlight this panel. This panel is having different boundary condition. Why different boundary condition? If you see this edge, what is happening? This slab is continuing. The slab is becoming continuous. It is not discontinuing. But if I see this slab here, what is happening? It is discontinued. Here also it has discontinued. The slab is not continuing. But here, if I see, this is also continuing. Boundary condition. What is this boundary condition? Two long edges are discontinuous. Okay, while the shorter edges are what? Continuous. But if I talk about this particular panel, let us talk about this particular panel. Here, what will be the boundary condition? The boundary condition will be three edges are discontinuous. So if question comes, which one is continuous, short or long? So you'll say the short edge is continuous. Is this clear? So depending upon boundary condition, your My and Mx value is going to change. And we will look into all possible cases. Is this clear?
सर कोई भी एज डिसकंटिन्यूअस है, इसका मीनिंग क्या है?
Discontinuous means the slab is not continuing. जैसे अभी यहीं पर मैं बोल रहा हूँ, देखो कंटिन्यूअस का मतलब क्या चीज है? कंटिन्यूअस स्लैब जा रहा है. जैसे अभी यहाँ पर तुम देखो, ये पर्टिकुलर स्लैब पैनल की मैं बात करूं, ये इस बीम पे रेस्ट कर रहा है. लेट मी हाईलाइट इट. इस पे रेस्ट कर रहा है, इस पे रेस्ट कर रहा है, इस पे रेस्ट कर रहा है, इस पे रेस्ट कर रहा है. ठीक है कि नहीं? कंटिन्यूअस का मतलब क्या? ये स्लैब कंटिन्यू हो गया इस डायरेक्शन में. The slab is continuing, it is not discontinued. But इस डायरेक्शन में देखो तो this slab has become discontinuous. It has stopped. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is what I'll be making entire cases, entire possible cases, because I need to refer to the respective clause from which you can compute this Mx and My. It's very important. Like if it is becoming intermediate support, because this beam is becoming intermediate support in the slab, so it is expected that you're going to get negative movement, and that has been taken care in the code also. Okay, because I cannot apply that plate theory depending upon these boundary condition. I'll start solving those differential equations. It will take a lot of time. So you do not have that much of time. And
सर स्लैब कंटिन्यूअस है LY डायरेक्शन में, लेकिन हम लोग बोलते हैं कि स्लैब इज कंटिन्यूअस अलोंग शॉर्टर एज.
जैसे अभी जैसे कि एक एग्जांपल ले रहे, जैसे कि इस पैनल को ले रहे हैं, ये ग्रीन हाईलाइट को देखो, ठीक है कि नहीं? इसका देखो, ये बाउंड्री कंडीशन स्टैंड करने की कोशिश करो. ये तुम्हारा LY स्पैन है, ठीक है कि नहीं? और ये है तुम्हारा LX स्पैन. सो आई कैन से दैट थ्री एजेस आर डिसकंटिन्यूअस. थ्री एजेस में कौन सा डिसकंटिन्यूअस है? देखो, दो LY डिसकंटिन्यूअस हो गया, शॉर्टर स्पैन में भी डिसकंटिन्यूअस हो गया. कंटिन्यूअस कहां पर है? अबाउट shorter span. So you can say three edges are discontinuous, or you can say one shorter edge is continuous. जैसे मैं बोलूं one shorter edge is continuous, तो obviously mean करता है कि three edges are what? Discontinuous. Is this clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me make more diagram, because I have to actually refer to all those cases. So do not worry, it will become more clear. Let me make a complete diagram to consider all possible cases. Okay, so whatever line I'm going to make, please understand that is going to be your beam. Okay, and at corners, wherever it is meeting, here you are going to have the columns. So say this is one of the panel. Give me some time. Let me finish this sketch and I'll look into these boundary conditions. Okay, so here you see what I have made. So please understand, at these corners you have these columns, and whatever line you are seeing, those are your beams. So purposely I have made this plan such that I can cover various boundary condition for the slab. So you have this beam column arrangement, and what you have to do, you have to cast your slab over here. And what I'm doing, the longer span, I'm identifying this as LY and this is LX. And for every span, it is LY, LY, LX, LX, like that. Like this is also LY, this is also LX. Okay, and so on. So first what I will do, I'll talk about this particular panel. Say you are supposed to design this panel. Okay, so if I want to design this panel and I find Ly by Lx ratio less than 2, say this ratio Ly by Lx is less than 2. So I'll say that this panel, which I'm highlighting by yellow color, will be designed as a two-way slab. Now, if it is being designed as a two-way slab, what I need to compute? I need to compute moment spanning moment about x direction and moment about y direction. Okay. Now here, if I see the boundary condition, what boundary condition you are going to say? The slab is actually continuous on all the four edges. Here you see the slab is continuing in this direction. The slab also, okay. The slab is continuing here, and the slab is continuing here. So this slab is actually continuous in all the four directions. So if you have this case, let me mark this case as case number 1. So case number 1 is the case when the slab is actually continuous in all the four directions, or you can say that this is your interior panel. So when I write interior panel, it means the slab is continuous on all the four edges. So obviously you need to compute the moment spanning about x direction and moment spanning about y direction. So how to compute this mx and my? Because if I can compute this mx and my, calculation of steel is quite simple. Okay, and later it will be easy for me depending upon the steel. I'll be knowing how to provide it. So how to compute this mx and my? Question is that. Now I'll be applying plate theory. So as I said, when you apply plate theory, basically you are going to get differential equation, and that differential equation you'll be having this boundary condition four edges continuous. Based on that boundary condition, you will be formulating some equations. So what code has done? So I'll recommend you go to annexure D. However, for one case, definitely I'll be correlating it. But right now, to understand it, you come to annexure D. Here you see in annexure D, it is written slab spanning in two directions. Okay, slab spanning in two directions. And you read this. So all these important points we are going to read and interpret it. Restrained slabs. And if you read D1, what has been mentioned? When the corners of the slab are prevented from lifting, the slab may be designed as specified in D1.1 to D1.11. So what do you mean by this particular term? Slabs are prevented from lifting. So now to understand this, let me show you the sketch which we had already made. See, here you see the slab. This is a two-way slab. What you can observe here, the corners are lifting. Okay, here the corners are allowed to lift. But what here in the code it has said, the corners are not allowed to lift. Okay, so when corners will not be allowed to lift? So suppose if you have a framed structure, here you have a beam, here you have a beam, here you have a beam. Now when you do this monolithic construction, here you have column, here you have this edge, you have column, here you have column, and you have this beam column arrangement, and you are pouring the slab. So basically you do the monolithic construction. So if you have this construction here, this beam which is going to intersect here, this will not allow the slab to lift because there is sufficient reinforcement embedment. So this corners will not be allowed to lift. When the corners will be lifted, when you have a simply support case. Okay, when you have a simply supported slab case, there the possibility of lifting of corner is possible. But when you have this beam and slab supporting system where there is monolithic construction, the corners will not be allowed to lift. Nowadays, most of the construction which we have or frame structure, so when you have beam column slab arrangement, obviously the corners are not allowed to lift. So if these corners are not allowed to lift, it means the provision given in D1.1 to D1.11 is applicable. So here you see first thing what they have mentioned, D1.1. How you should compute moment? They have given one expression, mx. So what is the expression for mx? Some bending coefficient for the slab panel which is spanning about shorter span, alpha x into w into lx square. And please note moment when you're computing my about longer span, this expression is also given in terms of Lx square. So do not multiply effective span about y span. Okay, and I'll show you one, and I derive one of the expression for simply supported case. I can express my expression for my in terms of Lx. So I'll do that, so you do not worry why Lx is present here. So when I'll be deriving the case for simply supported case, I will show that my will also be can be also be represented in terms of Lx. So right now, how you can compute this moment mx and my? So let me come to that page. If I want to compute mx, I should know alpha x into w into Lx square, and my is what? Alpha y into w into Ly square. So this is quite simple. So I should know these coefficient alpha x and alpha y, and these coefficient, these bending coefficient will depend upon the edge condition. Okay, depending upon the edge condition, the value of alpha x and alpha y will change. So here if you see, if you further read it, it has mentioned alpha x and alpha y are the coefficient which is given in table number 26. So I should know how to use table number 26. If you know how to use table number 26, my calculation becomes quite simple. Okay, so this is my table number 26, and here you please read it. It's mentioned bending moment coefficients for rectangular panel supported on four sides with provision for torsion at corners. And I will discuss why it is mentioned torsion at corners. So suppose if you are not allowing corners to lift for simply supported slab, okay, for simply supported slab or the slab which is supported on wall, and if you are not allowing the corners to lift, it means there is going to be some torsion which is going to be applied at the corner. Now, in order to make it restrained, you provide torsion reinforcement. Okay, so if you provide torsion reinforcement, it means the corners will not be allowed to lift for simply supported slab. So here you will be having a case when you have a simply supported slab where corners are not allowed to lift. If corners are not allowed to lift, it means you have to provide torsion reinforcement. But for beam column slab arrangement, that kind of possibility is not there. The corners will obviously not be lifted because there is monolithic construction and there is sufficient embedment of your reinforcement from slab into your beam. So anyway, I want to know how to compute these coefficient alpha x and alpha y. So as I said, there can be different cases. So first case, which I had shown here, this is interior panel. The slab is continuous on all the four edges. So let us see what will be your alpha x. Here you see interior panel. Okay, so interior panel is what? Interior panel is a panel in which all the four edges are continuous. Okay, so if you come over here, so this is the continuous edge. Don't you think you are going to get negative moment here? You're going to get negative moment here also, because you know at continuous support you get a negative moment. It means the reinforcement has to be provided on the top of fiber. Okay, so here also you are going to get negative moment. Here also you are going to get negative moment. So at continuous edges you are going to get negative moment about shorter span. This is your, you see here, Lx. So if I take 1 meter strip here, so you can see you're getting negative moment at support, negative moment at support, and at the center you're going to get positive moment. So this mx in case of interior panel has to be what? Negative moment at support and positive moment at span. Similarly, if you take 1 meter strip parallel to y, here you see negative moment at support and positive moment at span. So my in same line you'll be having negative moment, my negative at support and my positive at span. So this has been taken care in the code. Here you see negative moment at continuous edge. Can you see this particular term? Negative moment at continuous edge. So depending upon this ratio of Ly by Lx, so definitely you are going to compute that Ly by Lx. So say if Ly by Lx is 1.3, so you get this negative moment coefficient as 0.047. So you can compute mx minus what it will be, 0.047 into w into Lx square. Sorry, this is not Ly. By mistake I've written. This has to be Lx square. So mx negative will be 0.047 into w into Lx square. When Ly by Lx is 1.3. Similarly, Mx positive, so you can refer to the code, you have 0.036. So it will be 0.036 into W into Lx square. So you can get Mx negative, you can get Mx positive. So it means if you compute AST based on this negative moment, that reinforcement will be provided on the top at this continuous edge. Okay, it will be provided at the top at the continuous edge. And Mx plus, it means the reinforcement will be provided at the bottom because your tension will be at the bottom fiber. In same line, you can compute My minus and My plus. And how you can do it? Here at the last column, you see long span coefficient. So irrespective of this ratio Ly by Lx, it has specified that the negative moment coefficient alpha y will be 0.032 and it will be 0.024. So this is the case of interior panel. I hope till here it is clear to everyone. So, okay, so I'll move to next case. So this is my case one. So I'll write down this as my case one. Let me erase it for unnecessary thing. So this is my interior panel, case number one. Okay. Now let us see second case. Here you see one short edge discontinuous. So please make this correction. There is amendment in this ISO 562,000. Here, this case number 2 has to be one short edge discontinuous, because if you see this case number 2 and case number 8, both are actually becoming same. One short edge continuous, here also one short edge continuous. This is wrong. So you please make this correction, one short edge discontinuous. Okay. So case number 2 here, it is one short edge discontinuous. So let us identify that panel here. So the panel is what? One short edge discontinuous. Where you can find that? This one. This is case number 2. Here you can see one short edge discontinuous. So this is Lx. This is discontinuous. Okay. So this is your case number 2. Okay. And also you can find this. If I make one more panel, let me do that. This one also. Here also this one short edge is discontinuous. So this slab and this slab is having a case when one short edge is what? Discontinuous. Let me make one more panel that I cover all the panels. So if I want to design the slab, which case I have to take? Case number 2, because one short edge is what? Discontinuous. So same thing here, one short edge discontinuous. So these two panels will be designed considering the moment coefficient, considering this case 2. Let us see case number 3, one long edge discontinuous. Where you can find this long edge discontinuous? Here you see. This was actually Ly. This is also Ly. So if I see this one, this 3, you can see this one long edge is discontinuous. So this is case number 3. Case number 3. This also one long edge is what? Discontinuous. This one is not. Why? Because both long edges are actually discontinuous. So this is case number 3. Let us see case number 4. Two adjacent edges discontinuous. So where you can find here? This panel. This panel. Here you see this two adjacent edges are discontinuous. Here also if you see this two adjacent edges are discontinuous. So this is your case number 4. This is also your case number 4. So if I design this panel and this panel, I'll be considering case number 4. Okay. Also this one also. Here also same thing is happening. Two adjacent edges are what? Discontinuous. Read case number 5. Two short edges discontinuous. So it is mentioned that two short edge is going to be discontinuous. So where you can get two short edges discontinuous? You see this for this case. This case. This is Lx. This is also Lx, right? So here it is discontinuous. Here it is discontinuous. So you can see two short edges discontinuous. So this becomes case number 5. So someone if says design this particular slab panel. So I'll be referring case number 5 from table number 26, which is given in Annexure D of ISO 562,000. Okay. So this is your case number 5. Let us see case number 6. two long edges discontinuous. So where you can find two long edges discontinuous? It is over here. This one. This one. Two long edges are what? Discontinuous. So this is my case number 6. Okay, this is my case number 6. Let us see other case. Case number 7. It is mentioned 3 edges discontinuous, and in bracket it has mentioned 1 long edge continuous. So either you can say 3 edges discontinuous or you say 1 long edge continuous. So where is case number 7? Here. You see this edge, this edge, this edge is what? Discontinuous. With what? 1 long edge continuous. So this is your case number 7. Okay. Let us see case number here also. 3 edges discontinuous. It's mentioned what? 1 short edge continuous. So I can see this panel here. Here you can see this edge, this edge, this edge is discontinuous. But the difference is here the short edge is actually continuous. Case number 7 was associated with what? Long edge being continuous. But case number 8, which is for this particular panel, here the short edge is actually continuous. So you can see I have made all those 8 cases. Okay, I have made all possible 8 cases when I design respective slab panel if I find it as a two-way slab. Okay, so you have to look into what boundary condition you have. Now based on boundary condition, you can select the case which is given in the slide. Now case number 9. Please see here, this is case number 9. 4 edges discontinuous. Okay, so when you have 4 edges discontinuous, it means like this. The slab is like this. So you can see all the 4 edges are actually discontinuous. So this is case number 9. Now, if it is a simply supported slab, it means you have to provide torsion reinforcement. Okay. If you have a simply supported slab, it means you have to provide torsion reinforcement at corners. And when I further read the clause number, we'll be able to know what and how you should provide this torsion reinforcement at corners. So if you have a discontinuous edge and if you have a simply supported case, it means torsion reinforcement has to be provided at the corners. But if you have slab beam column arrangement, then you do not need to provide the torsion reinforcement because the beam will not allow the slab to lift. Okay, so this is your case number 9. But there is a possibility what when the corners are allowed to lift. So there will be one more case. So for that case, this is the case which you have to go into. Here you see bending moment coefficient, table number 27 for slab spanning in 2 directions, right angle, simply supported on 4 sides. So if you have a simply supported on 4 sides, and if you are allowing the corners to lift, please read this clause. Simply supported slab D2, but simply supported slab do not have adequate provision to resist torsion at corners and to prevent the corners from the lifting. It means if you are allowing the corners to lift, which case you have to refer to? You have to read this one. Table number 27. Okay. From here you are supposed to read the coefficient of alpha x and alpha y. Till here, I hope things are clear. If not, feel free to ask. Is this clear to everyone? Computing moment is very simple. Mx and my. Only thing is I should select proper alpha x and alpha y. And this alpha x and alpha y will depend upon the boundary condition or the edge condition of the supporting slab. Based upon the edge condition, you will identify under which case it is going to come. You will refer table number 26 and select the coefficient. If corners are allowed to lift, it means you have to refer table number 27. Is this clear to everyone? If not, you please clarify the same now.
Sir, torsion reinforcements are to provide to not allow lifting.
Yes. In case of simply supported slab, जैसे इस diagram में तुम देखो, एक second, इस diagram में देखो. Now this is being made in an exaggerated manner. This slab is actually resting. This particular slab is actually resting on walls. Now this wall is not resisting the lifting at corners. So corners are allowed to lift. But suppose if you don't want corners to lift, it means some kind of torsional shear is going to develop at corners, okay, because of the load not being in the plane and near the support, okay. So you have to provide torsion reinforcement. So if you have provided torsion reinforcement, here you see the slab is discontinuous at all the 4 edges. But if you do not allow lifting to take place, it means torsion reinforcement has to be provided. And which one you will be reading? 4 edges discontinuous. You will be applying this one. This case you will be applying. Okay. But suppose if you are allowing corners to lift, it means you have to compute your alpha x and alpha y using table number 27. Is this clear? So you don't need to provide any torsion reinforcement for that when you are allowing corners to lift. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can continue. Okay. So if this is clear, we can continue. We can read the clause and we are going to definitely interpret what exactly it is saying. So once you know mx and my, you can compute AST. Okay. You can compute steel about shorter span. You can compute steel about longer span. Now question is how to place those reinforcements. So let us read D1.2. What D1.2 is talking about. If you read this, it is saying slabs are considered as divided in each direction into middle strip and edge strip. The middle strip being 3/4 of the width and each edge strip 1/8 of the width. So basically D1.2, D1.3, D1.4, D1.5, when you read this, it is actually trying to talk about how you should place your reinforcement. So first thing, let us see D1.2 when it is talking about dividing the slab into strips. Now to understand this, let me take this screenshot. It has asked to refer this one. We'll try to understand these two sketches. So right now, do not consider this one. Let us see this one. Okay, so it's written for span LX. So, you know, like when you are considering the reinforcement, what you generally do, like if you have this span as Ly by Lx less than 2, generally what you will be doing, you'll be considering 1 meter strip and you will be designing the reinforcement. Okay. So here you see for span Lx, okay, when slab is spanning about the shorter span, you divide the slab into middle strip and edge strip. Okay. So when you divide the slab into middle strip and edge strip, okay, when you divide the slab into middle strip and edge strip, so please observe these things. So it's written for span Lx. So I know when I'm designing the slab which is spanning about shorter span, what generally you do? You consider 1 meter strip. Is it not? You consider 1 meter strip. Now for this 1 meter strip, you'll be computing what you'll be computing. You'll be computing mx negative and mx positive. What is mx negative? Mx negative means the negative moment at support point, which I'm highlighting here. Okay, and mx positive means movement at midspan. So for this 1 meter strip, you'll be computing mx negative and mx positive. Say you have computed mx negative, and what you did, and you'll be writing AST x negative. You have computed mx positive. You have computed AST x positive. So what code has suggested? The entire span. So this is for span Lx, okay, about shorter span. You divide the slab into middle strip and edge strip. So you have middle strip, you have edge strip. So you have computed ASTX minus ASTX plus. Code is saying whatever ASTX minus ASTX plus you provide these reinforcement completely in middle strip. You don't provide the steel in your edge strip. Okay. So please understand whatever ASTX minus you compute, ASTX plus you compute. So you'll be placing your reinforcement here for ASTX minus. Okay, so these are the bars which you'll be placing like this. And for ASTX plus, you'll be placing your reinforcement like this. Alternate bars like this you'll be placing. So the code is suggesting whatever ASTX minus ASTX plus you are getting, and how you're computing, you'll say like AST X bar has 10 dia bar at 200 millimeter center to center. So this 10 dia at 200 millimeter center to center, whatever you are computing, considering AST X minus, you'll be providing these for the middle strip only, not for edge strip. So let me show you this provision. Here you see, okay, here if you further read it, D1.3, the maximum moments calculated. So whatever maximum moment you are calculating in D1.1 apply only to middle strips. So if it is applicable only to middle strip, it means whatever reinforcement you are computing, that has to be provided to middle strip. It is obvious. Okay, so we have to understand based upon these MX and MY, whatever steel you are getting, that steel has to be provided only on middle strip. So here I had considered the reinforcement which are going to place about shorter span. Let us consider this case. So here this is for spanning about LY. Okay, for spanning about LY means what? You are going to consider 1 meter strip parallel to LY, and you'll be computing again MY negative, MY positive. So based upon MY negative, you will compute ASTY negative. This will be computing ASTY positive. So this ASTY negative, you are going to provide here at the support point. And this ASTY positive will be providing in the middle span here. So some dia bar at some spacing. But whatever these steel you'll be providing, these steel you'll provide only on middle strip. Will not be providing on the edge strip, because the code has suggested, it has said that whatever moment you are computing, okay, whatever moment you are computing, it is applicable only to middle strip. Now question comes, what about edge strip then? Okay, definitely the question will come, what about edge strip? So in edge strip, what you have to do, you have to provide minimum reinforcement. Okay, so in edge strip, generally what you'll be doing, you'll be providing minimum reinforcement. Read D1.7. This will give you a clarification. Reinforcement in edge strip parallel to that edge shall comply with minimum given in section 3 and the requirement for torsion. So anyway, so section 3, just minimum reinforcement you have to provide, and at corners, suppose if the corners are not allowed to lift, then you have to provide torsion reinforcement. So I hope it is clear. So here at the edges, okay, the edges, whatever steel you'll be providing here, the steel will be minimum. Here also in this direction, the longer span direction, here whatever steel you provide at the edge, it will be what? Minimum steel. And please observe how you are identifying middle strip. Middle strip will be 3/4 of, if you are taking this shorter span, 3/4 of LY, and edge strip will be LY by 8. If you are considering longer span, then it will be LX by 8, 3/4 by LX. So for middle strip, it is 3/4 LX, and for edge strip, it is LX by 8. I hope here it is clear, like when you are computing steel, how you have to provide these reinforcement, because when you draw reinforcement detail, you have to make sure you satisfy the codal requirement. Okay, and it has said clearly whatever MX minus, MX plus, MY minus, MY plus, based on the code recommendation, it is saying that it is applicable only to middle strip. So it is very much obvious. So steel, whatever you get, that steel has to be provided at middle strip. What about edge strip? At edge strip, provide minimum steel. I hope this is clear to everyone, because when we take a problem, when we solve it, it should be very clear. As I've already always emphasized, making a detailed drawing is very much important. Reinforcement detailed drawing, because that reinforcement detailed drawing is going to get communicated at site. So whatever you design, it should be communicated properly at the site. Okay. So if anyone has doubt related with this middle strip and
minimum स्टील कितना है? वही 0.12%.
हाँ, 0.12% अगर HYSD बार यूज कर रहे हो, 0.15% अगर माइल्ड स्टील बार यूज कर रहे हो, ठीक है कि नहीं? तो बस ये ध्यान में रखना, एज स्ट्रिप में मिनिमम स्टील जाएगा, मिडिल स्ट्रिप में पूरा स्टील जाएगा जो तुम्हारे कैलकुलेशन पे जा रहा है, क्योंकि जब तुम रिइंफोर्समेंट डिटेल बनाओगे तब तुम्हें ये सब डायमेंशन को ध्यान में रखते हुए बनाना होगा, ठीक है कि नहीं? तो तुम अननेसेसरी ज्यादा स्टील दे दोगे. सी you can definitely provide the steel at edge also. Okay, 10 dia, let us say at middle strip you are having 10 dia at 200 millimeters center to center. That still you can provide, but it is uneconomical. That kind of movement is not actually acting on edge strip. So why you want to provide that? And you please understand, क्योंकि जो स्लैब का पैनल होता है बहुत बड़े बड़े होते हैं. अगर तुम 2 रॉड भी बचाते हो एक पैनल में, and say if you have 100 panels, you are saving a lot of reinforcement. Okay. So what code has given? It has given some kind of guidance, considering at edge you do not have very high moment compared to the moment which is there at middle strip. So do not provide more steel at the edge. But I'm saying again, you can definitely provide the steel, whatever you are getting at middle strip at edge also, but it will be uneconomical. Okay. D1.2, D1.3 is clear. I hope till here it is clear. Now let us see this last one. Read this one. What it is saying, and we have to interpret this. And again, I'll be taking help of SP34 to interpret this one. What it is saying: tension reinforcement provided at midspan in the middle strip shall extend in the lower part of the slab to within 0.25 L of a continuous edge or 0.15 L of a discontinuous edge. What do you mean by this provision? So I'll take the case, let us say I'll be taking this case for this particular strip. Let me take case for one of the spanning for about, let us say, about shorter span, and later that can be extended for longer span. So let me explain for this one. Let me interpret what exactly it is meaning. So same thing can be extended for the for span LX. What do you do? Again, you consider a 1 meter strip and you design your reinforcement. Okay. So say this is your continuous edge. Okay. So I'm saying that this is continuous. That is, the slab is continuing, and this is discontinuous edge. Okay. So this is your discontinuous edge, and here let me make green color. Green color is continuous. The slab is going to continue here, and this pink color is showing discontinuous edge. Okay. So this is discontinuous edge, and this is your continuous edge. And here you see this is the middle strip. I'm considering middle strip right now. What it is saying: tension reinforcement provided at midspan in the middle strip shall extend in the lower part of the slab to within 0.25 L of a continuous edge. So you know, like in middle strip, if you have positive moment, so for mx plus you can compute, you will get ASTx plus, and you'll be computing some dia bar at some spacing, say 10 dia at 200 or 8 dia at 200. So you'll be placing those reinforcement at middle strip. So what code is suggesting? So let me show you. Say this is the reinforcement which you will be placing. So this is discontinuous edge, right? So you know, like alternate bars you are going to provide, like one bar will be like this. Okay, another bar is going to be like this. So I'm making a curtailed drawing. Okay? So this distance, so this is a continuous edge. So this distance will be how much? 0.25 Lx. This is a discontinuous edge. This distance will be how much? It will be 0.15 Lx. So this is what code is suggesting. Whatever reinforcement you provide, it should extend up to 0.25. This is what it is saying. It should extend within 0.25 L of a continuous edge or 0.15 L at a discontinuous edge. So this is what it is saying. So if you cut a cross section from here, and if you start observing how exactly the slab will look like, now to understand what I will open, I'll open SP34. So right now I'll be talking about this curtail bar here. So I'm seeing from here. Okay, I'm seeing from here. So here you see the slab is continuing here, and the slab is discontinuing here. So of course this section is applicable. So this is what you will be seeing. Okay, this is what you are going to see. And here whatever L1 is there, this is actually Lx. So rather than L1, I'll write Lx. So let us see the bars, how exactly those bars has been placed. So here you see this is one of the bar. Let me use green color. This is one of the bar. You see, I'm making it. This is the bar. So here you see this is one of the bar which you have placed like this, and where you are stopping, you see at a distance of 0.25 Lx, because this is a continuous edge. The slab is continuing. Next bar, Next bar is this one. Let me make red one. Alternate bars, actually you are curtailing near support. This red color. Here you see where exactly you are stopping. Here you see 0.15 LX. This is what code is saying. These are the two bars which I had made. So let us say this is my green color bar. This is my green color bar. Okay. And this is my red color bar. So this is what it has been shown over here in this section. Okay. So this is AST1. Okay. Or you can say ASTX positive. This is the positive reinforcement which you are placing at the bottom fiber. Now, apart from this tension reinforcement, here you see, if you read the clause, I hope this is clear. This particular clause, tension reinforcement at midspan. Is this clear, like how exactly it is coming? Okay. So let us read this D1.5 also. It is written over the continuous edge of a middle strip. What it is saying, continuous edge of a middle strip. It means what? The reinforcement will be provided at the top. Here you please read midspan. Midspan means positive moment. Continuous edge means negative moment. So we have to see these things carefully. We have to interpret things which is given in code. Midspan means positive moment. That is, reinforcement will be provided at the bottom. And that detail I have shown over here. How exactly it is coming, green and red. This is the steel which you are providing for what? MX plus, that is ASTX plus. Now at continuous edge, or here you see this is the continuous edge. This edge is what? Continuous. So what it is saying here, over the continuous edges of a middle strip, tension reinforcement shall extend in the upper part of the slab. That's what I'm saying. At continuous edge, negative moment, steel has to be provided at the top, that is upper part of the slab, at a distance of 0.15 L from the support, and at least 50% shall extend at a distance of 0.3 L. And if you see this reinforcement detailing, this is what you will be finding out. Wait. So here if you see, this is a continuous edge. This is a continuous edge. So at this continuous edge, you will be getting what? MX negative. Now from this MX negative, you'll be computing ASTX negative. This ASTX negative will be provided at the top. Okay. So here whatever you are seeing AST2. So let me write down this as ASTX negative. So this top steel is ASTX negative. So as per code, what it has said, 0.15 L. So here you see 0.15 LX and whatever span is coming here. So let us say right now this is LX itself. This is also LX. So the reinforcement, this is one of the reinforcement. Okay. And the another reinforcement is going to be like this blue line. So alternate bars. So that's why 50% of the steel, okay, ASTX negative, has to be provided up to a distance of 0.3 LX. This is what it is saying here. If you read D1.5, this is what you can interpret from this particular sketch. Okay. So I hope this here it is clear. Now at this continuous
लास्ट वाला बताइएगा.
लास्ट वाला देखो, इसको पहले देखो
1.5
यहाँ पर देखो ये वाला continuous edge. Okay. So please read continuous edge. So this is my continuous edge. This one है ना, ये continuous edge है. Continuous edge में क्या होगा? Negative movement आएगा. सिर्फ मैं shorter span में लिया हूँ तो MX negative लिया हूँ. Same thing will be applicable to MY also, but I am considering only one of the span, shorter span. MX negative आया. MX negative से तुमने क्या compute किया? ASTX negative. Now this ASTX negative will be providing at the top. Okay. So what code is suggesting? If you read, the tension reinforcement shall extend in the upper part, top में है, of the slab distance of 0.15 L from the support. चलो ठीक है. And at least 50% shall extend a distance of 0.3 L. मतलब मैं क्या करूंगा? Alternate bars को रखूंगा. एक बार ऐसा रहेगा, यहाँ से 0.15 L, यहाँ से 0.15 L, 0.15 L, 0.15. दूसरा बार को मैं क्या करूंगा? ऐसे प्लेस करूंगा. मतलब क्या होगा? जैसे कि कर में एक स्केच में देखो, ऐसे रखूंगा एक बार, दूसरा बार कैसे रखूंगा? इसको बड़ा कर दूंगा, इस तरह से प्लेस करूंगा. एक बार यू ऐसे रहेगा, एक बार ऐसे रहेगा, वो भी ऊपर में. अगर इस बार में जाओ तो यहाँ से यहाँ तक का डिस्टेंस 0.15 है. लेट मी मेक हियर. ये छोटा बार है, ये एक बड़ा बार है. तो यहाँ से यहाँ तक का जो डिस्टेंस होगा, दिस डिस्टेंस will be 0.15 L. So since I'm talking about LX, so this will be 0.15 L. और ये वाला डिस्टेंस कितना होगा 0.3 mm. So this is the kind of arrangement which you are going to make, and same thing you can see like this here, which has been mentioned. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But anyway, I'm again repeating to everyone. If you get a chance to visit a site where slab casting is being done, you please observe those reinforcement detail and look into how or what I have discussed. And still, if it is not clear, refer to SP34 also and try to visualize how actually those reinforcement will be placed. So this reinforcement drawing which I have made is for shorter span, and the same thing can be applicable about longer span also. Rather than considering here, I can consider this one also. So here also same thing. One will be short, okay, depending upon continuous, and this will be knowing whether it is this distance is 0.15 or 0.3. And same thing at near support. Here also shorter bar, longer bar. Like this, it's going to go for middle strip. For S strip, it will be your minimum steel. So please have a thought on these clause which I have read up till D1.5. But let us see D1.6. It's written at a discontinuous edge. So here, when I made the sketch, this is your discontinuous edge. So what in the discontinuous edge you have to do? 50% steel. Here you can see 0.5 AST X plus. That is 50% of the bar you're going to provide at the top to take care of the partial fixity. So this is what code has suggested. So you read this. At discontinuous edge, negative moment may arise. So they depend upon degree of fixity at the edge of slab. But in general, tension reinforcement equal to 50%, that provided at mid span, extending to 0.1 into the span will be sufficient. So same thing has been drawn over here. Can you see this distance is how much? You can see this distance 0.1 L, and this steel is how much? 50% of your positive steel which you are actually providing. So my suggestion, read clause number D1 to D1.6, have a look into it, see SP34 drawing, try to understand it, because if these provisions is very much clear to you, solving the problem is quite simple. And we'll see. Again, I'll give you one procedure. You follow that procedure. Ultimately, following those procedure will lead to reinforcement calculation. And at the end, you have to make the reinforcement detail drawing, which will come when you understand this clauses which has been specified in ISO 562,000. Okay.